Hello everybody, and welcome to Yoga, Pilates, and Stretching with Ann. Today's class is going to be an approximately hour-long class incorporating mountain pose, stretching, warrior 1, 2, and 3, and flows. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Come to the middle of your mat with your feet about hips width apart. Come into mountain pose where you're evenly pressing into all portions of your feet. So that means your toes, your balls of your feet, the heels, the outer, the inner edges. Just take a moment to rock back and forth on your feet, feeling the feet grounding, rooting into your mat, into the earth. And now take a moment and roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And bring your hands, either palms facing your legs or palms forward, thumbs out, whichever is more comfortable for you. Just take a moment as you press into your feet to lift from the crown of your head, from the very top of your head up towards the ceiling. Maybe tuck your belly in slightly, your belly button in and up as you lift and lengthen from your feet and find your comfortable mountain pose. Begin to slowly soften your gaze. Either look down towards the floor without tucking your head down. Just slowly look down with your eyes, or close your eyes if you can do that and feel comfortable. And begin to focus on your body. Notice the places where your feet are touching the mat, the floor. Notice if they're evenly placed, or are you maybe leaning a little more into your heels or gripping a little more with your toes. Try to even your feet out, maybe by rolling forward and back on your toes a few times. Toe and heel. And then come to stillness and bring your attention to your legs. Activate your legs by lifting them away from your feet, almost as if you're pulling in the outer and inner ankles, lifting up from the kneecaps, activating your quad muscles, lifting them up towards your body. Take your attention to your hips. Are you slouched down in your hips, or are you lifting away from your legs? Take a deep breath in. Once again, rolling your shoulders back and down. And then take your attention to the ribs. Maybe pull them slightly up and away from your hips. Try not to press the ribs out, but keep them lifted up as you tuck your belly in slightly. You don't want to tuck your belly in so far that it affects your breath, but you do want to keep your spine lengthened, and it helps to bring your belly button lifted and towards your spine. Once again, lift from the crown of your head as you inhale and roll your shoulders back and down. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed, and begin to bring your arms out towards the side as you roll your palms up, lifting your arms up, pulling them away from your body, stretching them out to the side, maybe back a little bit, and lifting them up towards the ceiling. Once you get your fingertips pointing towards the ceiling, roll your shoulders back and down. Make sure your arms are as straight as they can be, fingertips lifting, fingers spread. Try to bring your shoulder blades together and down your back. Take your attention to your feet once again. Make sure you're grounded, rooted well as you lift your arms up and your shoulders back and down. Lift your heart up. And if it feels good on your neck, look up between your hands, lengthening your body. Now slowly bring your arms down, palms facing down as you look forward once again, pulling those arms away from you and coming into mountain pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, palms up, arms come up, lengthening, lifting, looking up between our hands, saluting the sun, and exhaling, bringing those palms down, arms slightly behind us, lifting our heart, and exhaling. One more time, lifting the arms up, looking up, inhaling, lifting our heart, rolling our shoulders down, and then exhaling, bringing those arms back down again. This time, when we lift our arms up, we're going to lift up onto our toes, onto the balls of our feet. So lift up, roll onto your toes, and then exhale, release your heels down. 2 more times. Inhale, up onto the toes, lengthening, exhaling, releasing down. 1 more time, inhaling up. This time, we're going to stay up on our toes, lengthening, stretching. If you fall down, not to worry, come back up. Try to stay on your toes as long as you can. And exhaling, coming down. Now let's shake our hands, shake our legs out. And we're going to do a little kundalini where you take your arms and you turn to the side and just flap your arms, allow them to go wherever they want to go. Flap them out and towards your body as you twist from side to side, waking up your spine, waking up your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, bending in the knees, whatever feels good. Maybe looking up or looking down. Think about what feels good to your body right now as you wake it up, slapping your sides, taking this kundalini, slapping the sides. Let's do 2 more. And come back to center, finding our center. Once again, rolling our shoulders back and down. Taking a deep breath. Now we're going to move into a warrior 1 asymmetrical pose. So take your right leg forward and your left leg back. Your right toes are facing forward and your left toes are out at an angle to the side, to the corner of your mat. So bring your hips forward as they can be. And if you have trouble with balancing, like I do sometimes, you can bring your legs further apart so that your heel and your heel are in alignment. So your front heel and your back heel are in alignment. And take a moment, place your hands on your hips and bend your knee. And straighten your knee. 1 more time, bend your knee so that your knee is over your ankle. And then straighten your knee. Now we're going to add our left arm with that. So bring your left arm down to the side. Bend your knee as you lift that arm up and find your half warrior pose. Try to bring that left or that right elbow behind you as you lift the left arm up. So you're keeping your chest open. You're keeping your shoulders open. Your collarbones spread wide. Now we're going to bring that arm down as we straighten that front leg. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale the arm up as you bend the front knee. Make sure you're not going over your toes. You're over your front ankle. Exhaling that arm down. Inhaling it up. Lengthening. Tucking that belly in. Right shoulder comes back. Exhaling down. 2 more. Inhaling up. If you like, you can look up towards the ceiling. And exhaling down. 1 more time. Inhale up. sides. So this time we've got the left leg forward and the right leg back in heel to heel alignment. Front toes, left toes facing forward, right toes facing at an angle forward to the side of the mat. Bring your hips forward as you bend over that front ankle, the knee over the ankle, bringing your hips forward, pressing into that back straight leg. The back leg remains straight. And now we're going to keep the left hand on the hip as we release the right hand down. Straighten that leg. Bend that leg. Straighten the front leg. And bend that front leg as you lift the right arm up and overhead. Pull that left elbow, that left shoulder back as you lift and lengthen in your half warrior one pose. Pause here for a breath, finding your pose, bending that front knee, pressing into the outer edge of that back leg, straightening that leg, and exhale as you bring the arm down and straighten the front leg. 3 more times. Inhale, bend and lift. And lengthen. Exhale, straighten that leg, bring that arm down. Inhale, bend, lift, and lengthen. Exhale, straighten, and bring that arm down. 1 more time. Bend, lift, lengthen, and hold. Maybe look up at the ceiling. Keep length in your body. Don't scrunch in your lower back, but lengthen up. Pull that elbow and that left shoulder back. And then exhale, down. Now we're going to bring that back leg up and shake it out. And bring your legs wide on your mat. So you may need to face the side of your mat for the wide-legged pose, unless you have 2 mats like I do. I'm lucky to have 2 mats here. So we're going to bring our legs wide in preparation for warrior pose. So I want your legs to be as wide as is comfortable for you. So in most cases, your wrists are about the same far out as your ankles. So try to adjust accordingly. So bring your legs in if you need to, bring your legs out if you need to. Make sure your toes are facing forward and the sides of your feet are in alignment with your mat. Now release your arms down. Bring that right foot towards the right front side of your mat. And then bend that over that front knee as you adjust your left heel back slightly. So once again, your back leg is at an angle towards the front of your mat. Your hips are facing the side, your knee is facing forward, and the bend is angling over your front toes, the middle of your foot. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. And then slowly begin to lift your arms up and out to the side, palms down. Lift shoulder height in your warrior 2 pose. You can gently begin to look over the front hand, the right hand, to find your warrior 2. Now we're going to go into a warrior heart flow. So we're going to straighten that front right leg and bring our hands to our heart as we look to the side. And then we're going to open our arms wide again as we bend over that front leg, exhaling into warrior 2 once again. Inhaling, the other hand on top of the other hand on your heart, shoulder spread, heart wide, and then exhaling, releasing the arms to the side, finding your warrior 2 pose. Inhaling, hands to heart, trying to do one hand over the other each time, and then exhaling, bending, and finding your warrior 2. One more time, inhaling, hands to heart, and exhaling. Warrior two. Pause in your warrior two. Make sure your legs are strong. Make sure your shoulders are rolled back and down. Your face is softened. Release your hands down and bring your toes to face forward once again. And now we're going to get warrior two on the other side. So turn your left toes to face the back of your mat. The back toes now, this is the back of your mat for this warrior pose. Your right toes come out to an angle. So your left toes facing the side, bending the knee over the ankle, pressing into the outer edge of that back foot. Your hips are facing the side, your shoulders are facing the side. Roll your shoulders back and down before you lift your arms. Find your legs first. Then once you're strong in your warrior pose, in your side pose, lift your arms up. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then slowly gaze over those left fingertips. Inhaling as you lengthen and press into your feet, and exhaling as you roll your shoulders back and down. Now let's do the flow. So we're going to straighten that left knee as we bring our hands to our heart, opening our shoulders. Exhaling, bringing those arms wide and bending over, finding our warrior two. Inhaling, hands to heart. Exhaling, straightening into warrior two. Two more times, inhaling, hands to heart. Trying to alternate which hand is on top. Exhaling, finding your warrior two. Try not to reach over too far. You want to be lengthening towards the top, towards the ceiling. Your body is parallel. Inhale one more time. Hands to heart, front leg straight, and exhaling, bending that knee, finding your warrior two. Pause in your warrior two, roll your shoulders back and down, soften your gaze. And then release your hands down, toes pointed towards the side of your mat, sides of your feet parallel to the sides of the mat. Now we're going to take a nice wide-legged forward bend. So bring your hands to your hips, roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and begin to hinge at your hips where your leg meets your hips. Hinge over about halfway, gazing down at the floor. Pause halfway. And take a breath here as you spread your sits bones, press into your feet. Lift from your legs, lengthen from the crown of your head forward. Pause here with your hands on your hips for one more breath. Tucking your belly in towards your spine, and then begin to slide your hands, fingertips facing down the outside of your legs as you begin to hinge further forward. Releasing your head, your neck, your shoulders. Slide your hands down as far as they go on your legs. And if it feels comfortable to you, release your hands either to the mat or to some blocks, or just let them hang as you allow your head, your neck, and your shoulders to hang into your forward fold. Your wide-legged forward fold. Pause here for a moment, bringing your attention to your breath, making sure you're breathing in this forward fold, and also making sure that you're evenly pressing into your feet so you don't have too much weight into your heels. If you have too much weight into your heels, bring some more weight into the balls of your feet, and you may notice you'll come a little deeper into your forward fold. Take another breath here, and slowly begin to bend your knees. Place your hands once again on your legs. Slowly slide those hands up your legs as you hinge up again. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Lifting and coming out of the pose. You want to come out of these forward bends very slowly so you don't have a head rush. Then roll those shoulders back and down. One more time, rolling back and down. And then slowly begin to bring your legs in. You can either hop them in or heel toe your legs back to the center of your mat. Shake them out. Excuse me. And now we're going to do Warrior 1 to Warrior 2. This is a balancing pose. So I'm going to face the side of my mat just so you can see Warrior 3 pose. And if you know you have trouble with balancing, you can always place a chair at the end of your mat, in the front at the end of your mat. And that way, when you reach over into your Warrior 3, you can grab the chair or grab a stool. You know, you can place a stool in front of your toes. So if you want to grab a chair or a stool, go ahead and grab that. Pause the video. But otherwise, let's get started. I want you to bring your right foot forward and your left foot back for Warrior 1. Once again, the back leg is angled out to the side. Your hips are forward and your front leg is in alignment with your back heel, toes facing forward. So we're going to just do a quick warrior flow, just bringing our arms up, lengthening from the crown of our head, from our fingertips, bending over our knee. And we're just going to flow a few times like we did before, but this time we're going to flow with both hands. So both hands come down as we straighten the front knee, and inhaling up, bending, flowing as we exhale, arms come down, inhaling, arms up, and bending over the front knee. One more time, exhaling down, inhaling, bending over the front knee. And now, I'm going to come back a little bit further, and now we're going to take that back leg and we're going to come up onto the ball of that back leg, onto the ball of that back foot, and then we're going to hinge forward with our hips, either grabbing a piece of furniture, grabbing the chair, or reaching your arms forward or out to the side. We're balancing on that front leg. Slight bend in the leg. The back leg is reaching out from your hip as high or as low as you want to take it. This is your Warrior 3 pose. You're looking down at the mat. Your arms are either at the side or reaching forward. You've got a slight bend in that front leg. And then to come out, you reach back. Lift up, find your Warrior 1. Release the arms down. And then shake it out. Bring that front leg back and shake it out. That's Warrior 1 to Warrior 3 balancing pose. Let's get that on the other side. So this time, the left leg is forward. The right leg is back and at an angle. Our hips are facing the side. We're bending over that front ankle. And we're lifting our arms up, finding our Warrior 1 pose. Roll your shoulders back and down, open your heart. Let's flow this pose a few times. Exhaling as we straighten the knee, bring the arms down. Inhaling as we lift the arms, straighten the knee. Bend the knee. Inhaling, lift. Straighten the knee, release the arms. Inhale, lift the arms. Bend the knee. Exhaling, straighten and release. Inhaling, lift the arms and bend the knee. Now we're going to come on to the ball of the back foot. Bring it in slightly. Lengthen and lift as we come and hinge over that front leg, reaching that back leg back and behind us. Toes facing down, heels facing up. Reaching, lengthening, holding onto that chair or that stool, or bringing your arms out to the side, out to the front. You may be wobbling a little like I am. This is a balancing pose after all. Looking down, reaching, lengthening, and then when you're ready, release that leg down. Find your warrior one. And then come back again to the middle and shake it out. Let's do that one more time on each side. For me, the second time's sometimes a charm. So let's find warrior one with the right leg forward, back leg angled, hips forward, bending over the knee, bending over that front knee, finding your warrior one. Let's do one flow where we straighten the knee, bring the arms down. Inhale, warrior one. And then let's bring that back foot in on the ball of your feet. Hinging forward over that leg as you lift and lengthen that back leg. Reaching the arms forward either for a chair or in the air. Once again, you might like your arms out to the side in your warrior one. In your warrior three. Or forward. Your choice. Just try to balance. Toes down. Pressing the heel. Trying to get that heel up to hip height. If you don't get it there, that's fine. Breathing. Holding, balancing if you can. And then releasing. Bending that front foot. Releasing that leg down. Finding your warrior one, lifting your heart, taking a breath, releasing the arms, coming back to center. Those balancing poses are hard, but they're good for us. Let's get the other side. Left leg forward, right leg back. Find your warrior pose first. Hips towards the left. Bent over the left ankle, pressing, straightening that back leg, lifting the heart, shoulders back and down. Let's flow once, straightening that front leg, releasing the arms. Inhaling back up. And let's find our warrior three by coming up onto the ball of the back foot. Bringing that back foot in. As you hinge forward, lifting the back leg, lengthening the arms, finding your warrior pose, trying to lift that leg as high as the hip if you can, lengthening that leg away as you pull your fingertips forward, breathing, balancing, and then slowly bending that front leg as you release that leg down. Finding once again your warrior one. Taking a breath here. Releasing your arms. Bringing that leg back. Shaking it out. Very good, everybody. Very good. Let's inhale. Center of the mat. Lifting the arms. Exhaling, we're diving forward. Inhaling, half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Let's begin to walk our hands out, our feet back. Let's just find a down dog to stretch. Just a few stretches in down dog, a few breaths. Maybe walking your legs. Bending one knee and the other, lengthening in the sides of your body, lifting your tailbone, really stretching your chest. And then release your knees down. Bringing your knees wide on the mat. Bringing your toes together to touch in the back. Hips to heels. And finding your child's pose. Releasing down. Using blocks if you have them under your forehead. Or resting your forehead on the mat or on your hands. Whatever is your favorite child's pose. Take that child's pose now. Resting your head, your shoulders, your arms, your hips, your legs. As always, if you have trouble with your knees, you can always double the mat underneath for your knees. You can place blocks or blankets under your knees. Or if you can't hinge back on your hips in child's pose, you can always come into puppy dog pose where your hips stay over your knees. Again, you can have something under your knees for padding and just rest your head either on the mat or on your hands in puppy dog pose. So if you can't do child's, feel free to try puppy dog. Either way, rest, release, relax in either child's or puppy dog. Once again, a reminder, if I ever tell you to do anything and it hurts, back off. These poses, these stretches should feel good. They should be a challenge, but they should not hurt any part of your body. We always need to protect our neck. We need to protect our shoulders, our hips, our ankles, our knees especially. Our body's a magical thing, but it's also fragile and can be injured easily, especially in yoga. So be gentle, listen to your body, only do what feels good to you today. All right, let's slowly come out of your child's pose. Come onto your hands and knees. We're just going to do a little child's flow. So bring your knees back in under your hips. So instead of being wide, your knees are going to be hip width apart. Your hands are going to be under your shoulders, fingers spread wide, pressing into your fingertips to protect your wrist. I know a lot of people have trouble with table pose because of their wrist. And if you press into your fingertips, you take a lot of that pressure into your fingertips and thumb. You take a lot of that pressure off of your wrists. So try that. See if that works. Tuck your belly in as you arch your back. Tuck your chin down. And take a take a cat pose, and also hinge your hips back. So it's a child's version of cat pose. So you're tucking your chin under, your arms are activated, your back is arched, and then you're going to inhale up into your table as you drop your belly, lift your tailbone up, lift your chin up, and find your cow pose. So let's take this flow, exhaling into cat, child's, hinging your hips back, tucking your chin, arching your back, and inhaling into cow, coming up onto your knees again. Chest is forward, chin is up, tailbone up. Drop that belly down. Exhaling into cat pose and child's pose. Arching the back. Inhaling into cow. One more time. Exhaling, tucking that tailbone, arching that back, hinging back. And inhaling up, lifting the chin, dropping the belly. Excellent. Now, we're going to come slowly. So walk your hands forward of your shoulders and walk your knees back. And just tuck your elbows in and gently come on to your belly. Releasing to the floor. So make sure your feet in the back our hips width apart. And your hands are under your shoulders. You're on the tops of your feet in the back of your mat. So you're on the tops of your feet, on your your toenails. And I want you to reach your right arm towards the front of your mat, hovering just above the ground. You can have your palms down, or you can have your pinky finger down, palms facing inward. Just lengthen that arm away from you as you gently tuck in that left elbow, your hand under your shoulder, your left hand under your shoulder, reaching that right hand away from you. Now press into the top of the right foot as you lift and lengthen from your hip that left leg. So you're lifting and lengthening the right arm, lifting and lengthening the left leg, just a few inches from your mat. Take a moment and think about pressing your pubic bone below your belly button down. As you press into your left hand and the top of your right foot, gently lengthening your right hand and your left leg, and then release down. Bring that right hand under your right shoulder as you lengthen the left hand away from you. A few inches from the ground, fingertips pointing away from you. Press into the top of the left leg as you lift and lengthen the right from the hip. Lift the whole leg. Point your toes, lengthen the left hand away and the right leg away. Reaching, lengthening, pressing into that pubic bone. Feel the strength that this takes in your back muscles, in your arm, your legs. Take another breath as you reach, maybe looking forward, if that feels okay on your neck. One more reach, one more breath, and then release the hand, release the leg. Place one hand over the other, under your forehead. Release your forehead down. Bend your knees. And just allow your legs to wipe, sway from side to side, moving your hips, even moving your head if that feels good. Slowly releasing any tension. Excuse me. And then come to stillness. Release your legs down. Release your hands so that your hands are under your shoulders once again. Elbows pulled in. Point your toes, lengthen your legs behind you. Press gently into your hands as you lift, pressing into your pubic bone, lifting your chest forward. Pause here in this modified locust pose. Now reach your hands forward, palms facing each other. Breathing, and then lift your legs. So we're doing locust pose, reaching your arms forward, looking forward slightly on your mat, lengthening your toes, reaching, breathing, and then releasing down, hand over hand, forehead on your hand, releasing your legs. We're going to do that one more time. After a few breaths, rest. Gently lift your head. Press into your pubic bone as you reach your arms forward. Lift your legs. Find your locust pose. Make sure your shoulders are rolled back and down. Pressing into your pubic bone, pulling your toes away, your legs away, your fingertips, your arms. Breathing, lengthening, in locust pose. Once again, release the legs, release the hands. Hand over hand, crocodile pose. Bring your legs to the edge of your mat. So bring them a little bit wider than hips width. Bend at the knees. And once again, windshield wiper those legs from side to side. Move your head across your hands from side to side. Breathing, releasing, relaxing. Now bring your head and your feet to stillness. Release your legs down. Gently, using your hands and your feet, roll over onto your side. And then gently roll onto your back. Bend your knees so that your feet are under your knees. Tuck your shoulders down, so press into your elbows, tucking your shoulders down, shoulder blades in. Make sure you're resting on all portions of your feet. Lift your hips slightly as you lengthen your tailbone on the mat, releasing your lower back down. Slightly lift your head, tuck your chin, lengthen your neck, and release your head down. Bring your hands to the sides, palms down. And slowly press into your feet as you lift your hips, rolling on to your shoulder blades, rolling onto the outside edges of your shoulders. Keeping your heart open, pressing into your feet, almost as if you're pulling your knees over your toes, lifting your tailbone, trying to point your tailbone between your knees. Take a breath here, and then slowly on the exhale, begin to place your spine back down from the top of your spine to your middle spine, releasing your lower spine down, one vertebra at a time, slowly, slowly, and then finally releasing your hips. Let's do that again, only this time we're going to alternate as we lift our hips. We're going to lift one arm up and behind us. Don't release the arm, gently lengthen it as we press down into the palm of the other arm, reaching that arm away from us, lifting those hips up. Taking a breath here as we lift and lengthen, and then on the next exhale, slowly release that spine down, one vertebra at a time as you bring that arm down. Let's do that now with the other arm. Inhale, lifting the other arm, lifting the hips, lengthening those fingertips away from you, overhead, lengthening that tailbone between your knees. Taking a breath here, and then on the next exhale, releasing your spine one vertebra at a time as you release your hand down next to you. Now, let's do both hands as we lift. We're lifting both hands up, overhead, just hovering those hands, lifting that tailbone, stretching those fingertips. And then take a nice deep breath. And on the exhale, releasing that spine, one vertebra at a time as you lift those arms up. Notice it's almost as if you're giving yourself a little spinal massage as you release that spine, release those hands down to the side. Let's do that 2 more times, pressing into the feet, lifting the arms up as you come into your bridge. Don't release your hands, but lengthen them away from you overhead, Tuck your belly, lift your hips. Press up a little bit higher. Take a breath. And then on the exhale, release and lower, lifting your arms overhead and releasing them to your sides. One more time, pressing, lifting, lengthening as you inhale. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the body. Keeping those shoulders open. Take another breath. And then as you exhale, release the spine, lift the arms, and lower. Let's take a knee hug, bringing both knees in, keeping those knees apart for this knee hug. So a wide-legged knee hug. And then rolling from side to side, even with your head, rolling onto one arm and then the other. Just slowly getting a nice gentle knee hug. And then if you like, rotate those knees in a circle. Roll onto your back in a circle. First in one direction, and then pausing and reversing that circle, reversing that direction, and the other direction. Wide knees. Now grab one knee, grab the right knee, and extend the left leg, really stretching that left leg away from you. Flex both feet. Release that left leg down. Lift the right leg up. Lift the left arm up. If you can, release that leg and just holding up the right leg and the left leg, releasing the right arm and the left leg. So right leg lifted, left arm lifted. Take a breath. Bend that right leg again. Take that knee hug, activate the left leg, lifting it up from the mat. And let's switch sides. Let's bring the left leg in, extend the right leg. Take a moment, really stretching the right leg away as you pull the left knee in. Then release that right leg down. Straighten the left leg, sole of the feet towards the ceiling. And then lift the right arm up towards the ceiling. So you've got the left leg lifted, pressing the sole of the feet, the heel towards the ceiling. If you can, release that left arm down, holding up the right arm, holding up the left leg, tucking the belly in, flexing the feet, lengthening that right leg away from you and the left leg. Taking a breath here. And then bending that left knee, taking another knee hug, activating the right leg, stretching it away from you. One more time, take both knees in. This time a tight knee hug, so those knees are together. Maybe lift your head to lengthen your neck if that feels good. Curling up into the smallest, tightest ball you can. Maybe even grabbing onto the outside elbows, tightening your ball, stretching your back. Now we're going to release down, lifting both arms up, lifting both legs up, and we're going to take what I call dead bug or half dead bug. We're going to lift our arms, lift our legs, and then rotate at the ankles and the wrists. Tuck your chin, don't lift your chin up too high. Tuck your chin so that your neck is lengthened. Try to release your shoulder blades, your shoulders onto the mat. And then rotate in the other direction. This is one of my favorite poses because it actually allows your body to bring a lot of the fluids back to your heart, to your lymph system easily. So if you ever have swelling in the hands or feet, especially during the summertime, the heat and the humidity, your hands and your feet swell. Try doing this every morning, every evening, when you wake up, before you go to bed, and just rotate in the other direction. Do this for a couple of minutes. Wakes up your lymph system, your vascular system, gets rid of that fluid that settles in your body at night. Slowly come to stillness, release, bend your knees, release your feet down, release your arms down. Pause just a moment here, taking a breath. And then take a moment once more to tuck your shoulders down, shoulder blades in. So you're opening your heart. Bring your arms out to the side. Palms can be up or down. It's up to you. We're going to take a little twist. So lift your legs up in table, knees over hips, lower legs parallel to the floor. And we're going to gently roll onto the right hip, rolling the legs over to the right, but keeping both shoulders on the mat. So keep that left shoulder down. You're twisting your legs to the right. If your legs are uncomfortable twisting like this, you can always place a big pillow or block in between your knees to be a little more comfortable. But try to allow gravity to release your feet, your legs to the floor. Looking over to the other side, if that feels okay on your neck. So looking over to the left, maybe closing your eyes or softening your gaze. Now it's time to relax and release. Take a few deep, deep belly breaths. And on the exhale, totally release. Soften your head, your shoulders, your arms. Release your belly, your hips, your legs. Take another deep, deep belly breath. And then on the exhale, totally let it go. And slowly bring your head back to center. Lift the top legs, followed by the lower leg up to center. Take a moment to center your shoulders, your hips. And then roll gently onto your left side. Both legs rolling over, keeping your right shoulder on the mat. Using your props, your blocks, your pillows as you need them. And then looking over to the right. Allowing gravity to pull you down, to weigh you down. Using your breath to expand on the inhale and your exhale to release and relax your head, your eyes, your face, your shoulders. Release your hips, your legs, your feet. Take another deep breath. And let it go on the exhale. And then slowly bring your head back to center. Top leg comes up, followed by the bottom leg. And now is the time to listen to your body, to take whatever stretch you would like to take before your Shavasana. So it might be rolling from side to side. It might be another dead bug. It might be something else in your practice, like happy baby, where you grab the outside edges. It might be plow pose. You might want to take another bridge pose or an inversion, whatever your body's calling for. Take that stretch might be a long mountain pose stretch on your mat. Take that stretch, take a few moments here to listen to your body. Expand on your mat. Take that stretch. And then find your Shavasana pose. So for Shavasana, we'll take 3 to 5 minutes on our back, tucking our shoulder blades, releasing our arms out to the side, palms up. Your knees can be bent and knees resting into each other, feet out to the edges of your mat. Or in the more traditional Shavasana, I'll scrunch up here a little bit so you can see my whole body. You spread your legs straight, maybe placing pillows under your knees or blocks under your knees for support. But just spread those legs about the width of the mat apart, allowing your feet to fall to the side, allowing your head to rest gently on the mat. Just take a moment, find your favorite Shavasana pose, wiggle into it, lengthen your lower back, maybe your neck, tuck in your shoulder blades, find your Shavasana. And then once you've found it, take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs, filling your belly. And then exhale out through your mouth, like you're blowing out a candle. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling. Blowing out the candle. Inhaling deeply. Blowing out the candle. And totally letting go. Softening everything from the crown of your head, your face, your jaw. Releasing your shoulders, your arms. Allowing your chest to release, your belly to soften. Your hips to melt into your mat. Your legs and your feet totally relaxed. Enjoy your Shavasana. You can always stay into Shavasana as long as you like after these practices. But if you're ready to begin to come back into the room, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, gently rotating your feet and your hands, the wrists. Maybe gently moving your head slowly from side to side. And gently bend one leg, one knee, placing your foot firmly on the ground, and bend the other leg. Maybe lift your hips slightly, rolling your knees slightly from side to side, rolling on your hips. And then gently roll to one side. Rule of thumb is if you're trying to calm your body, roll to the right side. If you want to energize, if it's a morning practice for you, roll to the left side. But roll to one side with knees bent, resting your head gently on your arm. Pause here for just a few moments, thanking yourself for taking the time to practice, to give yourself the gift of yoga. Grateful that your body can come to the mat. And then slowly, gently begin to come up, using your top arm and your top leg to gently find an easy seated position, either cross-leg, legs forward, kneeling, whatever is most comfortable for you. Take a moment, find your position, roll from side to side. Roll your shoulders back and down. Bring your arms out to the side, palms up. Bend at the elbows this time. And then slowly lift your hands up as if you're trying to hold the air, hold the sky. And then slowly lift your gaze up between your hands, watching your hands touch above your head. Slowly bringing your hands to your heart center. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. Namaste.